What's up, y'all? It's Cory Alexander, and today I created a premarital workbook. All right, so this is for you and that special someone. You think you're gonna pop the question to her. If he pops the question, you think you're gonna say yes. Y'all been talking about marriage. It looks like it's really serious between y'all. This is a premarital workbook. I tried to simplify it so it's only 12 questions, right? So I'm suggesting you do this separate, not together. My idea is for you to listen to the whole video before you answer any questions. Then, when you have time set aside to reflect and to be completely honest with yourself, not doing it together. Again, not doing it together. We don't want each other saying, oh, you still on question one? You getting really deep. We don't want any side comments, any shade. You need to really sit by yourself and reflect on these questions. This is how it's going to work best for you. All right? So listen one time straight through and then come back. Listen to one question. Look at the things to consider and then write your response down. And when both of you guys finish, you determine a day to go over it, then go over it. Share what's on your heart. Be completely honest, right? Honesty is going to be the best policy here. And if you can be honest, completely honest and forthcoming, not worried about scaring her, not worried about scaring him, it's going to be a good foundation for y'all to start the marriage with, all right? So the first question, money roles. What is your view on money? Is it security, freedom, power, the ability to be generous? And who do you believe should manage day-to-day finances in your marriage? All right? Think about that. Something to consider. What did money represent in your household growing up? How we are raised and how we experience life in certain aspects dictate our viewpoint on how we look at things going forward, all right? So how did money represent in your household growing up? Second, do you see money decisions as shared or delegated? Is it something you want to handle or you rather your spouse have a strength in budgeting and finances? Thirdly, what makes you feel financially respected or disrespected, right? Is it the man saying, I make the money, I can buy whatever I want? Is it the wife saying, this is my side money, I do whatever I want with it? Whatever that is, that wasn't meant for me to influence your answer, but just something to consider. All right. Number 2, spending versus saving. Are you more of a saver or a spender? And how should we handle disagreements about purchases, debt, or financial risk? Right? You have to think about those things. I'm a risk taker. My wife is more conservative. If we're going to invest, how are we going to come up to an agreement on what we should invest in, right? Are you a saver or a spender? We need to know that, right? And how should we handle disagreements about purchases, debt, or financial risk? Things to consider. What purchases feel worth it to you, even if they're expensive? How do you feel about debt, credit cards, loans, mortgages? Thirdly, what financial decision from your past do you regret or feel proud of? All right. Personally, I answered all of these questions. I'm going to put my answers in the description. Thirdly, transparency. What level of financial transparency do you expect? Accounts. Do we need to know about all of our accounts? Passwords, credit scores, past debt. Please share past debt. Right? Do you have a student loan that you feel uncomfortable talking about? Please disclose this stuff. And are there any financial habits or mistakes we need to disclose now? Right? Do you bet on sports often? Are you going to need a line item in the budget for that? Any financial habits, please disclose them. It's a matter of respect. All right? Things to consider. Are there any financial secrets you've ever kept from a partner in the past? 2, how should we handle financial privacy and accountability? And 3, what would break trust financially for you? All right. Number 4, sexual expectations. How do you define a healthy sex life in marriage? Frequency, initiation, openness to try new things, and how should we address seasons where desire or ability changes? All right, that's key. Married 23 years, I'm here to tell you these are important questions. Things to consider. How comfortable are you initiating intimacy? On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being completely comfortable in initiating sex. How would you rate yourself? Number 2, how do you handle rejection or mismatched desire? Big deal, big deal. Number 3, what makes you feel emotionally safe during intimacy? Number 5, boundaries and fidelity. What behaviors do you consider crossing sexual or emotional boundaries? Things like pornography, flirting, private messaging. And how do we protect trust? Things to consider. Where do your boundaries come from? Is it experience, faith, values? Number 2, how should we address temptation or vulnerability? Number 3, what actions would require rebuilding trust for you? All right. Number 6, opposite sex friendships. Ooh. What boundaries do you believe are appropriate with opposite sex friendships from work, church, social media? And how do we ensure these relationships never undermine our marriage? Things to consider. Are one-on-one settings acceptable? Under what conditions? Number 2, how should we handle transparency around texts or DMs? Number 3, how do we prioritize our marriage without isolating ourselves? All right, things to consider. Number 7, money and intimacy link. How should we handle it when stress around money affects intimacy, communication, or emotional connection? That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Money affects stress. Stress affects how we respond and behave. Talking about this is very important. Things to consider. Do you tend to withdraw or become reactive under stress? What support do you need when you feel financially overwhelmed? And number 3, how can we stay connected during difficult seasons? Number 8, faith and practice. What religion or faith tradition would you want us to observe as a couple? And how important is shared belief in guiding our decisions, parenting, and values? Things to consider. How actively do you want faith practiced in daily life? Number 2, what beliefs are non-negotiable to you? Number 3, how should we handle differences in faith expression? Number 9, how many children do you desire? And how flexible are you if life, health, finances, or calling change that plan? Things to consider. What fears or hopes do you have about parenting? Number 2, how do you envision discipline and structure? Number 3, what values do you most want to pass on? Number 10, stepchildren, if applicable. Since one of you has children, what role do you believe each of us should play in parenting, discipline, authority, and emotional support? Things to consider. How should biological parents and step-parents share authority? Number 2, how do we protect the marriage while supporting the children? Number 3, how should we handle loyalty, conflicts, or tension? Number 11, in-laws and aging parents. What are your expectations around caring for aging parents, including the possibility of an in-law living with us short-term or long-term? Things to consider. What boundaries feel necessary to you? Number 2, how should decisions be made if care becomes necessary? Number 3, how do we balance honoring parents and protecting our marriage? These are big questions. And finally, number 12, when we disagree deeply about sex, money, or family, how do you believe we should resolve conflict? And are you open to counseling before problems become crises? Things to consider. How do you typically respond to conflict? Number 2, what does a sincere apology look like to you? And number 3, When should we seek outside help? All right, that's it. 12 questions. Again, I suggest you listen to the whole video and then go back and answer one question at a time, being as honest and forthcoming as possible. If you were raised and experienced certain things, please share that. It would help your spouse, potential spouse, right? Potential spouse to know why you feel a certain way, what you've experienced in your past that make you think the way you think, all right? Adding context is going to be very helpful in this premarital workbook, all right? Context, 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 honesty, be forthcoming. Do not hide important information from each other. All right, it's just going to come to the surface later. Whatever is done in the dark comes to light. Please be honest. Don't worry about scaring a person away. Out of respect, let them know what's in your heart, what you've experienced, what you expect to experience as a married couple, and things you look forward to, things that you have trouble with, and things you don't know how you're going to be able to handle, and things you don't want to handle. Just be as honest as possible. All right. So I created this to help couples looking to get serious and take the relationship to the next level. All right. I hope this helps. I love y'all. I'm rooting for love. I'm rooting for marriage. You can do it. Be as honest as possible now. Set expectations. Be fair with the other person, what you've experienced, what you've been through, and this is why you think the way you think. All right. And if enough of this information is on the same page and y'all think y'all can work with each other, at minimum, at least you could say, you was honest with me. I knew what I was getting into when we did the premarital workbook. All right. I'm Cory Alexander. I love y'all. And I hope this helps.